Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Lauren Sizzle, and you are now tuned in to one of the hottest talk shows in the nation. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk.
I'm Classy Lady Sparkle. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow the We Talk Weekly's podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.
What up, folks? It's your boy Charles Gregory. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at We Talk Weekly.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lily. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weekly on 106.5 FM.
It's coming up next. We have a gentleman with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. You know what, classy lady, why don't you tell us who we have today? Tell us who we have today.
Absolutely. Okay, so OT of the OT radio show has interviewed some of the biggest stars in the business, but he insists he is more than that. Aside from being an energetic radio personality and a philanthropist, he also describes himself as a father, mentor, motivational speaker, and businessman. OT is a native of Philadelphia, the Germantown section, but now lives in Wilmington, Delaware. He has a phenomenal scholarship program in honor of his mother, the Etherine Tansimore Scholarship. We'll talk more about his scholarship, his love for computer science, and who he looks up to, and the music he grew up on. So let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to OT.
OT, my brother, my brother, my brother. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, man? I'm good. How are you?
Oh man, my brother, I'm good. It's good to have you on today, man. I heard so much about you. We couldn't wait to have you on. You're doing a lot of things in the community, and we really appreciate that from you. And one of the things before we get into, your full story, and I know the ladies have a lot of questions for you, is how are you, right? And so one of the way that, because you in Philly. And so you
Yeah.
already know what's going. Already know what's going on in Philly right now, man. So
Yep.
how are you? How are your spirits, and all that good old stuff?
Well, my spirits is always good because there's always something good that's going in Philly besides the things that people hear on media.
Yeah,
So my spirits is always good all the time. You know, um, sometimes it hurts a little bit, but I know that Philly is always good. It's always good, despite
yeah,
of.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, Not to start the conversation on such a sad note, but we just had another shooting where a 14-year-old, at a high school during a game, that a young 14-year-old
Yeah.
has succumbed. What is your thoughts on like what can we do? We were having this conversation on what the answers are, right? And
hmm
you've been doing a lot of community-based work, and so what do you think the answer is? What do you think we can do to stop some of the murders and the shootings and the violence that has been happening in the city? What do you think we can do? What do you think the answer is?
Well, there's like multiple things. I would say to everyone listening that we need to start opening up some of these rec centers because the kids really don't have nowhere to go, right? So when kids don't have nowhere to go, what happens? Kids tends to get into a lot of things. So we need to start having structural things in rec centers like we used to. We used to have basketball, chess, after school programs. You know, um, Boxing, things for the ladies, tutoring. These are the things that we used to have in certain rec centers. And I think the city is doing a very poor job of, having these rec centers, open until like 9 o'clock at night for kids. Because I remember, when I used to have mine up at Waterview Recreation Center up in Germantown, we used to stay open until like 9 o'clock at night,
Right.
and we offer multiple things. Now it's like, these kids don't have nothing to do. So one of the solutions is let's give them something to do. Let's tell them that they're loved, because that's what's needed right now, man. I'm telling you, that is what's needed. Everything now is outrageous right now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Have you seen? You mentioned, when you used to go to rec centers. Have you seen a change in the way youth are these days, or do you feel things are consistent? What do you think may have been the change?
Well, I mean, things are consistent because think
Right.
about it.
I believe that.
Kids need someone to hear them out, right?
Yeah.
So kids pick up when you just there because of money or you just there because you just got to do some kind of community service. But when you genuine, kids pick up on it. And
That's right.
that's as a people, as a community, that's what we need to do. Because I know it's hard out here today. I know kids are doing certain things today, but I would say this: at the end of the day, we have kids too,
Right.
and a village raises the kids,
That's right.
and we need to bring that back. Everybody. I know we deal with a lot of mental health, but that goes along with what we are dealing with right now.
Yeah.
So it's still consistent. Kids still doing the same exact thing that they was doing 10 years ago. Same
Right.
exact thing. Don't want to listen. Shoot, we did it. You know what I
You
mean?
got that
We did
right.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So think about it. Like if we narrow it down, they are doing the same thing that we used to do. Don't want to listen to parents. Don't want to listen. Think we know it all. It's the same exact thing.
Mm, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's the same thing. I believe it's the same thing. I think that parenting styles are different though. I think
Yeah.
the times that we are right now, I think we're in this moment where you know the raising a kid with a heavy hand
Hmm.
as a lot of us did, or grew up in, right? Because I remember picking my own switch. I ain't even gonna hold you, mom's throwing a remote control at me, stuff like that. We grew up in this
Right.
era, right? But
Right.
I think we there has been conversation that wasn't necessarily the right way, right? And so people are being
Right.
more open to different ways of parenting.
Right. But think about this though. We grew up
Right.
in an era where we didn't have that much technology, right?
True.
So
True.
I would say for the millennium, see the problem is that I would say is that they think that we should react like computers,
Ah,
right? How the phone react, that's how we should react. And
great point.
that's what's hindering as far as the kids is just having pure conversations. It ain't no more pure conversations. Think
Right.
about that. It ain't no
How
more
about
pure
that?
conversation. Can a kid hold an actual conversation? We used to hold a conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because we were social.
Yeah.
Now everything is all on hands.
Yeah.
So technology changed. That's all
That's
what it
true.
is. Parenting is still the same way, but technology changed. Now you don't got to get a stack of encyclopedias, right? The people come to your door, buy, tell you to buy these encyclopedia,
It's
right?
Encyclopedia Britannica. I still have it.
Now
I still
everything is
got it.
all on the phone, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Hmm. So who? So whose fault is it? Is it the kids' fault? Is it social media? Is it digital? Is it the parents? Whose fault is it? How can we fix it?
Well, we, that is
Come on,
hard to
bro. I
say,
need you to
man,
dig.
because
We gotta find these
man,
answers.
listen, man, that is definitely hard to say because the era
Right.
now is parents don't have to do as much. Like
Yeah.
remember when we sitting at the table, our parents had to sit at the table too and help us. Now it's like, yo, listen, Google got it, Siri's got it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
We
what I mean?
Google.
But yeah, dude, like
Yeah. We
all,
Google
all I can
everything.
say on this, yes, yes, think about it, like we Google
Yeah.
everything. So, but we got to get back to, and this is just how I feel. We have to
Yeah.
get back to learning how to communicate now.
Okay.
That's what we have to get back to. We got to get back to listening,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
don't listen well. We
Uh
do
huh.
not listen well, and I'm being honest. Like, say
Yeah.
if a
Yeah. Yeah.
kid be like, "Oh, yo, man, like you don't understand me," the first thing we might get outrageous with the kid. Like, we do understand you, but just listen. So, that's what I
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So one last question, or one last statement. I'm gonna shout out Blessing Sultan who's watching, and she said, I think this was with respect to the question that I asked, who's to blame, and she said the government and
Mm,
parents, and she
hmm.
also said that we are all responsible. And I believe she has a point. If we have like you know praises to the gentleman, the older gentleman who I believe it was like 14, 15-year olds that beat him up, hit him on the head with a like a street cone. We actually did a story on that and killed him.
Hmm.
People can say, okay, well, as a parent, you didn't know where your children were. How are these young kids outside at this time of night, and you, as a
Hmm.
parent, don't know where they are? Or is it that some of these kids are so uncontrollable that a parent can't control them? So it's not necessarily their fault, right? So I guess Blessing said exactly. I hear you, my sister. I got you. I got you because I heard those arguments, right? And so
Right.
and she's accurate with all of us are responsible, but where do we blame social media? Do we blame this digital age? Who do we blame? Who do we point the fingers to? Because we have to know where the problem is to try to resolve it, right?
Right. So, all right. So let me backtrack a little bit. So, we did say parents.
Right.
Think about this. Our parents, right? Well, their parents
Right.
wanted the best for them, right? So
Right.
we're going to
Right.
give you everything that we didn't have,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
That's what parents do. We're going to try to give you everything that we didn't have, but
That's right.
we missing that key of, hey, I'm going to show you what if we don't have it. This is what we have to do. I don't think these kids understand anything about struggles. Honestly, I really don't. I really don't. But is it the government fault? Somewhat, because the government is say, hey, you can't do this to your kid, this to your kid, this to your kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we had the government saying the same thing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But most of us, what I mean, our parents would be like, go ahead, call them. I'll call them for you.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
And then
Yeah.
go ahead and get you up out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
So
that's right. No,
it's
go
the
ahead,
same
brother.
exact thing. So we can't say the government because it's the same rules that had 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, hey,
Right.
don't do this to your child. Right?
Yeah.
And it still got done.
Yeah.
So
Right.
how can we say the government when the rules are still the same?
Well, and speaking of the youth and helping, tell us more about the phenomenal scholarship that you started, OT. Tell us more about that and how do people, what how do they become eligible? And tell us about it. How I think you spoke about it on Wilmington. Good morning, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, the scholarship that I have is actually based for medical, for people in the medical field, for high school seniors, right?
Okay.
So they got to have a 2.5 GPA. Um, and my scholarship is, for the high school seniors who are going into the medical field. And how I have my scholarship set up is that a lot of kids is not meant to go to college, right? A lot of kids go to technical school, a lot of kids go to community college. So my scholarship is based off that. So you can still get my scholarship and still go to a technical school. You can still get my scholarship, still go to a community college or a college. And the inspiration behind it is my mother was in the medical field. And during that time my mom was in the medical field, she helped a lot of people. And the love that, nurses and doctors and RNs and CNNs and all of them, you know, um, is phenomenal because you gotta love what you do. And that right there was an inspiration to me because at the end of the day, we're going to need them. And that's what the scholarship is for right now. They can find it on board.org at Etherine Tansimore Scholarship. Right now, the deadline is December 15th. You have to write an essay. And once you write the essay, submit it. And hopefully,
Wow.
you'll be one of many to get it. Because we'll be announcing the winners on January 15, 2023.
Fantastic,
Awesome.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah. So I want to read some more of these comments, man. You got them talking, my brother. Uh, shout out to Leslie. Leslie, no, I love her. She said, "Read the Bible. It's a compass for your life. Don't allow social media to raise your child." Show interest in your kids. And I mean, yeah, you have a lot of kids that are being raised by social media. You know,
Yes.
parents are giving these kids to shut them up. Just give them the phone. Let them
Yeah.
watch YouTube. And YouTube is
Listen,
raising the kids.
listen. I tell you one thing, parents. If you want to get your kids real good, you ain't got to take away a whole lot. Just shut off the Wi-Fi. See what happens.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
There you go.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna just be
There you go.
it ain't gonna be the kids upset about that. It ain't just gonna be them. Everybody get upset. Oh, you don't have Wi-Fi? Listen, man, I done seen it. Shout out to Blessing. Blessing said, "You don't blame. We look for the solutions to the problem in our children. The children are hurting, and no one is listening to hear them. Just to have a response, and that's true. You know, people. You know,
Yep.
kids. These kids are smart. The kids are
Yes,
smart.
they
You
are.
can tell when
Very,
a
very.
child is hurting. You can tell when something is going
Yep.
on. I believe was it one of y'all who sent the I seen a text, or it was a meme, and somebody said parents need to start doing what they used to do back in the day. Take the hinges off the doors. Start looking through those drawers.
Yeah.
Start emptying
Yeah.
those book bags. Start sitting
Yeah.
down and having a conversation, playing No, I hear nobody talk about board games anymore.
Man,
Like literally,
listen,
I
all
will
the board
fight you
games
over
is on the
Monopoly. I will fight you over
Listen.
Spades.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Spade. I mean, give me
I'm not hearing
operations.
any of that. Operation. Yeah, listen, there's no
You gotta have
more.
steady hands.
But that's the problem, though, right? Nobody is talking
Yeah.
about. I don't hear this stuff anymore. I just hear, Monopoly is on the computer now. No one is actually
Yeah.
sitting down in the middle of a living room and saying this is board game night.
Yeah.
When the last
Yeah.
time that happened? I'm just saying.
Dude, I don't even know, bro.
So
I don't
OT,
even
I
know.
want
That's
to I just want to jump in real quick, and I want to thank you for weighing in on a lot of these heavy issues that we're dealing with right now, not just in our city, but overall in the world with these children, because it's really important. And you've been playing a big part in the community. So first, shout out to the OT radio show. Congratulations on everything you've been doing there, because
Appreciate
great things.
you.
We've been hearing great things. And so I want to know more about how you got what even pushed you and encouraged you to start the
scholarship?
your
I
scholarship,
got you.
because I hear you talk a lot about your family. I hear that's like a big inspiration for you, and your dad is the one who actually encouraged you to be more involved in the community. So was he also part of big in the community?
Yeah, actually, my father is still the block captain of.
There you go.
Listen,
Shout out to the block captains.
shout out
Back
to
in the
the
day,
block
yeah, the ones
captain.
used to turn the water
What?
plugs on for us.
Listen, yo, right? How about
Illegally.
that? You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. Well, you think about this. I ended up getting a scholarship. I was part of the Philadelphia Futures, the first class of 1994 in Philadelphia, and where they was giving out scholarships for kids to go to school, and that was one inspiration. Like, but wait a minute, if they can do it, I can do it. And the first thing we think that, oh, you got to put a whole lot of money into scholarship. But then when I found out that they was only giving up $1,500 a year, what I mean, to give us what they call the last dollar, I'm sitting back like, well, why can I do that? I can do that a whole lot. So that was one of the inspirations, was someone gave me a scholarship to help me. So why can I do the same thing to help them? Especially being in, finance and stuff like that. My finance ain't that good, but still at the end of the day, I still have money that I can help out other people, because we need to start helping people, especially, in this community now, especially in Philadelphia, all over basically.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. You told this story. I actually had the opportunity to see some of your interviews, and I want you to retell the story of your dad and connecting him with one of his friends live on your radio show. And I thought that was amazing, man, because we do those dynamic moments, right? We do those moments, we try to get, because I'm gonna get a moment from you, because I like to hear the first, right? So I'm gonna throw you a curveball in a minute. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I know you're ready, my brother. But I want you to shout out to Blessing. Blessing said, "Thank you for giving back." I gotta shout you out for that. So I want you to tell the story about your dad, your father, and making that connection, because it's those moments that no one will ever forget. And I thought it was an
Yeah.
interesting story. Yeah, and people need to hear it. Yeah.
Wow. So what happened was I was interviewing an author who wrote a book about Vietnam. Right. And in his book, I ended up buying his book. And in his book, it had my father's name in it. So I know a couple of people in that book, because my dad would still reach out to him, but it was like, all right, what can I do to make this moment happen? Now, mind you, the author, very good man, very good man. He was like, all right, going through the interview. So we ended up doing the interview. And I was like, all right, it's time to bring my dad in. And during that time, when my dad came in, it was like a moment of, damn, I didn't even know that you were still living. It was a moment of, there go my brother from Vietnam that we fought in this war, and
Wow.
it's good to
Wow.
see you. And the smile on both of their faces was priceless. Because my dad haven't seen that man in 50 something years,
Wow.
right? So he didn't even know my dad was even living.
Wow.
And that was priceless, and when we talk about brotherhood, brotherhood had no color, right? When you fighting in the war, brotherhood had no color. And seeing them two, they actually took over the show. I literally had to
I'm
like
sure they
stop them,
did.
because I really had to stop. Like, hold on, wait a minute. I still have to do this interview. So I was like, Dad, we're gonna have to talk to you later. You know what I mean? But it was priceless because I haven't seen my dad smile like that in years. Because after my mom passed, people go into depression, people go into deep state, and to see that smile on that man's face
Yeah.
and to see the smile on his face that was a priceless moment. Like, honestly, hands down, that was the best interview that I ever did, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's a moment that you won't forever see. That's a priceless moment.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You see how dynamic. I think when we talk radio, right? When it comes to radio, I think it's
Yeah.
important to give the listeners a moment, right? Moments that, because they're listening to you, they're listening to the sound of your voice. Now we have these podcasts, right? That we call
Yeah.
them podcasts, and people can kind of see, which would which even compounds the feeling and
Yeah.
emotions, right? But
Yes.
we have this obligation to give the listener, us, right, to give them real moments. They can go on IG and see all the fake and the filters all day long, right? But I think
Mm-hmm.
we have an obligation to be as transparent as possible and give them real moments. And
Yes.
me, part of me giving you this real moment is allowing people to hear the story of your father. That's a
Yeah.
positive story,
Yeah.
which was the reason why I wanted you to tell that story. You turn on television, you turn on all these movies, the first thing you hear, don't let me get into the news. The
Yeah.
first thing you hear about black men are from toxic masculinity to crooks to murderers to, chauvinists. I want to hear positive stories about the brothers that people can look at, and the young people who might look at this and say, like, wow, I want to be on a radio like OT.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And give a
Hey, 'cause like
moment.
y'all.
Yeah, how about that, right? And give a
Like
moment
y'all.
to them. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that was important. So I appreciate you sharing that story. Sizzle had a question for you, my brother.
Hey, I just wanted to
Hey.
backtrack Hey, I just want to backtrack a little bit to when you mentioned government. So now we're kind of like entering the primaries, and a lot of people are gearing up to vote. And you've had a lot of people who have registered because a lot that's going on with the abortion ban and different legislation that's being created. And, next year we're going to be electing a new mayor. So you talked a lot about like, the youth and different things that are affecting them. What type of candidate do you believe that Philadelphia needs that will, do a lot of things? Because it's a lot of things that we need as far as like gun violence. That's on the rise. We had last year, we had historic numbers as far as the homicides here in Philly. District Attorney Larry Krasner, he's going through his thing, but what do we need?
I know politics is kind of tricky. I try to stay away from a little bit of politics talk because I have my views on certain things. But I would tell you this: what Philadelphia need is someone with empathy, someone with understanding, someone who understand what is going on. A lot of people really don't understand what is going on. And someone who is driven by the community. Because when you look at some of these politicians and some of these people who are being elected, they really don't know what's going on.
Just saying that. Yeah.
We need somebody that's out there that say, you know what, I can help out with this issue. Okay, I can get the governor to help him out with this issue. And remember, like I always tell people, it's just like a pecking order, right? You got to follow the chain of command. And the mayor is just one part. From the councilmen to the senators, the mayor, the governors, they just all one part. So, we got to understand that we got to go through the chain of command because his hand could be tied. He could want to do something, but his hand is tied because the governor says no. What is he supposed to do? So I would say, definitely that's the kind of person we need in Philadelphia, for real. We need that kind of person.
Definitely. Great answer, my brother. I'm going to just say, for the record, look, we going, listen, we talk. This We Talk Weekly. We going to tell you how we feel. Because I think it's important, especially when you're on the radio, to call to task some of the people who we are saying that we want them to be our leadership, right? And shout out to Jamie Gaudier. She came to sit and talk to us, and I've been seeing her in them streets. I've been seeing her within her neighborhoods and really uplifting and talking for the community and fighting for the community. I've been seeing people like Isaiah Thomas, Catherine Gilmore. I've been seeing people like David O. Shout out to David O. And I see him in places as a Republican that I'm surprised I don't see some of my Democrat friends in. And I'm just like, yo, what's going on? We need people in. I don't care. Look, you could be part of the teabaggers. If you in them streets and you helping the community, I'm for you. I'm for you.
Well, let's ask this question, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's ask this question, though.
Yeah, sure.
You got to ask this question. Are you in the streets because you're looking for votes, or are you in the streets because that is what you're going to be doing?
Great question.
Because a lot of folks are just in the streets because they want the votes. But you start looking at their background, you came from the birds, my dude. You don't know nothing about this. You came from the outskirts, cuz.
I know. That's
what you telling
real.
us?
That's real. The one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, because we at the top of the hour, but I want you to hold on. I don't want you to go nowhere, right? This is We Talk. We on radio. I got to do my radio thing, right? This is. I'm just saying. You understand, Come on, don't act like you don't understand this, man. This is We Talk Weekly.
I understand. We got to go to commercial break.
This is We Talk Weekly after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and a beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
and a beautiful
Classy lady
and a beautiful
Lady Esther.
All right, now let's get back to this business, right? Now, you said something that was valuable, right? But see, when shout out to Blessings, Blessings said someone from here gets it. I like Blessings already. She said accountability. Accountability. Rodney said he wanted to shout you out. He said, my brother OT is a true definition of selflessness. Shout out to him. Betty Johnson say, hey, cuz. Very special shout out to you. Love you so much. Hey, cuz. Hey, cuz. So I had to shout that out. But, hey, cuz. You know what I'm saying, cuz? You know how we do it? Come on, bro.
Yo, what up, cuz?
What up, cuz?
Oh man.
But no, just to answer your question, right, before we let you go, man. But no, you're right. The issue for me, and that's why I premised it by saying we see them in them streets. We see them in the streets because we're in those streets.
Yeah.
So we actually see them in those streets doing something. I seen Jamie Gaudier. She actually came to the table while we're doing something, giving back to the community, right? I seen David O at the Philly Hip Hop Awards. How black does that get? How more ghetto and black does that get?
Oh wow.
Like, being honest. He's there and supporting the producers and continuing to give that art to the community. I see him in them streets. I ain't talking just going outside, shaking hand and kissing babies. Right? That's not what we talking about. We talk about true civically engaged professionals that's going to cause for action. Yeah. Oh, I got you quiet, my guy. That's what I'm telling. We on this radio, guy.
Man, listen,
my God.
listen, man. I hear all that, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I hear all that. Being in the media, doing this for a long time, I hear all that, right?
Yeah.
But see, where I really want to see him at is, I want you to be at these rec centers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to tell these people in those neighborhoods, what are you planning on doing? Listen, you could be at any hip hop show. I don't give a darn about a hip hop show. To be honest with you,
I hear you.
That's not telling me that you that black. That's not telling me that you for the people.
100%.
No, bro. All that's telling me is you just want to just go ahead and take this picture and go ahead and live. No, bro, we ain't doing that. I need to see you down these rec centers telling us why there's $30 million in the rec centers and this stuff is still not getting done. That's where I want to see you at. I need you to have explanation of what you're going to do to unlock $10 million in certain rec centers and that is still hung up. That's what I want to see you do. We got rec centers that are old, that got money in it, but it haven't been released yet. Why? Give us the reason why. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you at no hip hop. I don't want pictures. Do that.
Know what?
I could do that.
We actually seen Jamie Gaudier at the rec center, ironically, and we had her on the show talk. Listen, I'm very hard on these politicians, man.
That's the reason
very hard.
That's the reason why I'm going to get going to be the next mayor. Oh, excuse me, but
See, and the crazy thing, wasn't you supposed to be here today? You were supposed to be in studio today, weren't you? I thought you were supposed to be here today.
Yeah, I supposed to have been in studio, but then they said it was going to be like, man, listen, I'm just going by what people said. Because I was going to be my way down there. Listen, I had my $5 for parking and everything. Listen, I was going to make that.
You know what? Listen, you know what? I owe you an apology because my producer said that was your fault. You changed. Yeah, I did. I apologize. I can apologize, my brother.
Before we let him go,
definitely.
OT, can I ask you a question about music? You're
ma'am.
You love music? Okay, tell me more about it.
Yes,
like
I
the
do.
music you grew up on. Tell us more about that.
Wow. So the music I grew up with reggae, a little bit of jazz, listen to Bob Marley a lot, listen to a little bit of jazz. Temple had a station, reggae on Saturdays. And I used to listen to that a whole lot. A lot of R&B, a lot of 70s. When you got old parents, you best believe you're listening to the OJs and the Temptations,
The Whispers.
and stuff like that. You have the Whispers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. The list goes on and on. Tina Marie, Rick James, and just listening to that and listening to the Last Poet and stuff like that. You get a sense of the love of the music and where did it come from. And that's what for me, listen to Ray Charles and everybody else. I mean, when you start listening to all these people, you get that soul in you, you know. So I love my parents for that. I love my parents for that. I definitely love them for that because actually tell you the truth, I still be listening to that. Like I really do want to do a reggae station on Saturday, so I'm actually working on that to have a reggae station on Saturday. Because I'm telling you, Temple used to be rocking. Temple University used to be rocking a lot with the reggae station. What's that?
We got all these TU alumni up in here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, TU mug.
TU.
Listen, check this
TU.
out, right?
Actually, you ready for? In Temple University, my dad was the founder of the Black Student Union, Yeruo Kite.
Really?
So if you ever seen his stuff up there, that is my father.
Wow. That's big. Wow, that's big. That shows that the advocacy work has been happening for a long time. For sure. So I got to shout out Carol Brown Sugar Marks. Positive vibes is what everyone needs. Great job, nephew. Nephew on the Snoop
Hold
Dogg
up. Listen.
Dallas
fan, I love her. I love Auntie. I love people. You're a Dallas fan.
Dallas, right? Wow.
Love that.
man.
I love it. Look. She even got the Dallas. She even got the Dallas on. She got the Dallas jersey
on the picture.
Oh man. I was giving her props, man. I was giving her props. You see, when somebody call in and they want to do, but when I see stuff like that, I got to send them to jail. So listen, if you not a my God, I still love her though. That's nephew. She said she shouted you out, nephew. So you gotta make sure that
yes, we still love her. We still love her. We still love her to death. We still love her to death.
All right, listen. So look,
we just don't love you on the 2 games for 4 hours.
For sure. Listen, man, it was a pleasure to have you on, man. Listen, the one thing that you know what? I ain't throw my curve. I got to throw my curveball before we let you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because you on the radio and you did tons of interviews, right? So I know you probably talked and said everything about everything. But the one thing that you didn't say, all right, you ready for me? All right, here you go.
I'm ready for you.
You got to tell us the one thing, all right? The one thing that no one else knows about OT. That you can let us know right now. I'm talking about either your pop. I'm even talking about your publicist. I'm even talking about cuz. I'm talking about all that. Cuz. Right? You got to tell us the one thing that no one else knows about you. You can tell us right now. We Talk Weekly. Holla at your boy.
Exclusive.
Okay. Exclusive. One thing that no one don't know. I have a Michael Jordan rookie card and a signed Michael Jordan jersey.
Is it up for auction?
Nope, not yet. Not yet. But you best believe when it do. When it do, we gonna get it. And I got a Kobe one. So yeah.
Wow. That's exclusive there.
So that's exclusive right there. I gave it to y'all. You know what I mean? That's exclusive.
First.
All right, no doubt.
That nobody don't know. Now they know. Now y'all didn't open up the floodgates like, yo, cuz, listen, bro. You know what I mean?
They trying to get at you for real now.
Where the jersey at, my guy? Let me tell you, if you want to know where the jersey at, you won't never even find it. So you can try your best. But the 2 people that know, and I am 2 people.
You know what? So this is what's happening. I'm gonna give Carol the last word, right? This is what she said to you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Carol. Yo, I gotta do a show, man. I'm having too much fun. This is what we do here. We talk weekly after the talk of WPPMRP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weekly after the talk. Why don't you Let everybody know. I'm gonna give you the last word. Why don't you let everybody know some of the things that you have going on, like the last things that you have going on that you want people to see, check out, and how they can get in contact with you and all that good old stuff, brother.
Yeah. First, I would encourage every parent to go ahead that have a kid that is studying in the medical field to go to board.org at the Tansimore. Go ahead and tell them to fill out that essay before they can go ahead and be some of the finalists for the scholarship. And I would tell companies that my scholarship is tax deductible. So if you are any donors that are
Nice.
willing to donate to the OT scholarship, board.org at the Tansimore, donate and it's tax deductible. So you will get a tax write off for it. OT don't have the money. I don't keep the money, so it'll go directly to the scholarship. So you will see it. Let me clear that for everybody, because first thing people say is, "Hey, well, where the money actually going?" Well, the money's actually going straight to the scholarship. So you will see everything. Um,
Nice.
I would tell y'all can reach me at the OT Radio Show on all social media platforms. Just out, content. We talk about mental health. We, hey, actors come on. We get actors that be crying because we be deep in it. So
Yeah,
we
I'm
just
sure.
base like a conversation, like we having a conversation now. That's how
That's
my
right,
show
bro.
is, man. You
Yeah,
have
for
fun
sure.
with it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one thing that we say is that once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show. So anytime you want to come back, brother, I think the one thing that the community forgets sometimes is that even if you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing, that we still are doing a thing and we're in a community doing it, right?
Yes,
And so
yes,
when we talk about networking and collaborations, that's important because that's still community.
yes.
And
Blessings.
so
Yep.
it's important for me to make sure I extend an invitation to you, my brother, especially as a king. To you're more than welcome to always come on our show, brother. Anytime you would like, and we're here for you. The ladies, they've been holding me down for a long time, and the good folks, man. We talk weekly. This is what we do. We
Yeah.
talk. And we keep it a
I
buck, as
love
they
it.
say. We keep it a
I
beam all the
listen. I
time, my
love it.
brother.
Listen, man. I love the vibe. I
Yeah,
love the
for
vibe. The
sure.
vibe is good. The
For
vibe is
sure, for
good.
sure. All right, so there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Lauren
and
Sizzle.
the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And this is We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk, man. And we're going to talk a little bit about Alexa. Listen to Alexa, man. You can hear us on Alexa. And when we come back, real quick, I want to give a shout out to a community partner that just reached out to our producer. You want to talk about it?
Oh,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Because especially since we still got OT right here, because this is big when we talk about doing things and keeping it real and being true to our calls and the things that we say and mean it. Definitely, that's what OT is all about. And so we talk weekly would like to announce right now, because we just was reached out to about OT's turkey giveaways. So we talk weekly would like to announce as an official sponsor to team up with OT for his turkey giveaway. So that's how that's
Blessing.
showing the love. Thank you, OT.
Blessing.
Thank
Blessing. Blessing. No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Blessings. See?
absolutely.
Community
We
coming
definitely going we
together.
gonna
Thank
definitely make
you.
sure how
Ladies, I
we can get
appreciate
down
y'all.
there. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I'm broke, my brother, but we gonna make we gonna
I can't.
Listen. Change that word. Change that word, though. Don't
I
say
know
you
that's
broke.
right.
Just
You
say
right.
I don't have
You
the
right. You right.
funds. Look. I
Nah,
don't have the
you
funds.
right.
This situation. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but
No
yeah,
doubt. I
man.
love it. I love that, man. I love that, man. So, but this
Yeah.
was an excellent conversation, man. This is how we do it, man. We keep it real. We have conversations here. We don't try to expose nobody. We don't try to break no. Look, we real, right? And we talk it real, and we keep it real. We keep it funky. We all from Philadelphia. We love it. But we
Facts.
appreciate you
Facts.
coming on, man. And anytime, like I said, anytime you want to come back, please feel free. This is We Talk Weekly after the
Oh
talk,
man,
y'all.
listen.
Don't go. You know what? Go ahead, brother. You had the last word, and I'm going out.
Hey, listen, man. Because I was about to say, hey, when someone asks you how you do, you tell them I'm doing better yesterday, and you listening to your boy OTC. I was about to get into my radio thing for a minute. Now, I mean, but y'all can reach me at the OT Show on all social media platforms. You can go ahead and find a scholarship, boyd.org, Etherine Tansimore Scholarship for all of any kid, high school kid with a 2.5 grade point average that are going studying in the medical field. So listen, I love y'all kids. I love y'all. And there ain't nobody going to tell y'all our future. And we love you. There's people out here that do love y'all. So.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Lauren Sizzle, and you are now tuned in to one of the hottest talk shows in the nation. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk.
I'm Classy Lady Sparkle. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow the We Talk Weekly's podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.
What up, folks? This your boy Charles Gregory. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at We Talk Weekly.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lele. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weekly on 106.5 FM.